Welcome back to the Thom Hartmann Program. I'm Alex Lawson, filling in for Tom, and I'm going to take more of your calls. We have a guest in studio, but we're going to take your calls in just a bit, so stick with us and give us a call. But right now, I'm really pleased to be joined in studio by Noah Westreich from IfNotNow. Noah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So just tell us a little bit about IfNotNow, who you are and what you do.
Sure. IfNotNow is a growing movement of American Jews who seek to end American Jewish support for the occupation and the military regime in the West Bank.
And tell us a little bit about, where did it come from and maybe the forces that, you saw and you all saw to lead to the creation of this movement.
In 2014, the last Gaza war, several young American Jews gathered in New York City to say Mourner's Kaddish, the Jewish prayer for the dead, outside of a major Jewish institution. And from there, it grew from a quite small group of dedicated activists to a movement of thousands and thousands in this country today.
So what is lay out the goals? If you were to get what you wanted, what would that look like?
Sure.
What does ending the occupation look like?
Yeah, our main goal in IfNotNow is to hold our Jewish leaders in this country accountable for their actions and their support of the upholding of the occupation. In our movement, we have many, many, many different views about what the outcome could look like. But we seek to focus on what unites us rather than what divides us.
That's really, so my business partner, Kamon Freeman, was in studio yesterday, and we were talking about MLK on the anniversary of his assassination and silencing. And the anniversary that was of his speech Beyond Vietnam. It was 1 year to the date when he was assassinated. And the power of a movement that comes from when we see eye to eye and agree on one thing, and then we can use that to build a movement for social change, for justice. But the opposite of that, and what we see far too much of in the progressive space in this country, is if you don't agree on 100% of things, right? So if there's one thing that there's disagreement about, then it just devolves into chaos and, no one can do anything. But the power that comes from a unity of purpose where there is a unity of vision is really, so that's a really great point that you made there. Where is this unity of vision that you are organizing around?
Yeah, I think it comes down to our Jewish calendar. What unites us is that we're all Jews and we all care about the future of our people. As it so happens, this spring, the Jewish calendar really is working in our favor. A few weeks ago, we convened outside of AIPAC, the largest gathering of pro-Israel supporters in the country. This was
AIPAC is the largest gathering of pro-Israel supporters?
American Israel Public Affairs Committee is, they drew something like 18,000 people to their conference. We had a huge showing of IfNotNow demonstrators at this demonstration. We're now moving into our 50 Days, 50 Years campaign, which is counting down towards the 50th anniversary of occupation and military regime in the West Bank. And as you and your listeners might know as well, the Jewish holiday of Pesach, of Passover, is coming up, which is our holiday of freedom and of liberty. And so we're really using our unity over the Jewish calendar and our Jewish identities to fight for what we believe in. And
so tell us a little bit about the demonstration outside of AIPAC and what you did there. It seems like people are starting to see, because let me set it up a little bit. A lot of the power from an organization like AIPAC or a lobbying organization, right? I mean, it's in controlling a narrative. It's in trying to show this unity, right? That there is only one point of view on something. And in this case, it's in support for the Netanyahu government in the state of Israel. And they're saying, this is it. There's no, and then IfNotNow is saying, no, that's not a unified point of view. And then there's two sides to the story. And then you can start growing your side of the story. So tell us about that demonstration at AIPAC.
Sure. Well, the irony about the AIPAC conference is that their tagline this year was "Many Voices, One Vision." I think they could have edited that to be "Many Voices, One Vision," except for young American Jews. We gathered something like 1,000 activists from around the country. People flew in, drove in, bussed in. to descend outside of the Washington, D.C. Convention Center. There were something like 1,000 people outside that were singing Jewish songs, were chanting things that were very Jewish in nature. Hillel's 3 questions: if I'm not for myself, who will be for me? If I'm only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? In addition to Jewish songs, Hebrew songs that these people have grown up singing at their summer camps, around their Shabbat dinner tables, and in their synagogues. And people gathered outside to say that AIPAC doesn't represent us, that AIPAC is holding this monolithic view that is actually not in tune with American foreign policy, not in tune with our institutions, it's not in tune with our values, and most of all, it's not in tune with the majority of American Jews today.
Kenneth, in Indiana, you are on the line with Noah and myself.
Okay, I just got done seeing Trump on TV, which I call him Trump because he's not my president, and I have no respect for him.
I call him Donald.
But he keeps on blaming Obama. What the crap is that?
Kenneth, thank you for your call. The question of blaming Obama, it is generally, there's been a long history in the U.S. of the buck stops here, that the president is the place where the buck stops. That office has historically held that position, but we've seen time and time again that this administration is very different, and never in a good way. I've yet to see them be different in a good way. So, he is always trying to pass the buck. I think on the question of support for Netanyahu, we are seeing, I think we do know where the administration is on that. Where do you see the administration on that?
Yeah, well, our movement started well before Donald Trump's administration came to D.C. As you know, we were founded in 2014 when Obama was still in office. Our mission is largely the same. We are working towards ending American Jewish support for the occupation, not taking political stances, not supporting different pieces of legislation like some other organizations are focused on. But where IfNotNow comes into the Donald Trump years is seeing Donald Trump's policies and Benjamin Netanyahu's policies as 2 sides of the same coin. They're both upholding ultra-nationalistic policies and values that are, frankly, not in line with American values or Israeli values. And as leaders of our community, we want to hold our side accountable for upholding these nationalistic policies.
So we got in the last minute here. It does seem like, and I won't try to say I have an incredibly in-depth, knowledge of this, but Netanyahu is facing some serious scandals that are undermining his authority in Israel, it seems. And a natural response that you see with that is actually like a tightening of these nationalistic policies, that it kind of takes people's eyes off of maybe a more mundane scandal. Do you think that has some validity there?
Yeah, well, in our movement, we feature hundreds of different views, a different view for every person. Some people who have lots of experience in Israel, in the West Bank, with Israeli politics, and others not. What unites us is that we're all American Jews in our movement, and we want to uphold our values of morality and freedom and dignity for all people.
Noah Westreich with IfNotNow. That's IfNotNowMovement.org. We are going to continue taking calls after this, so give us a call and talk to Noah Westreich of IfNotNow. That's IfNotNowMovement.org. You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. I'm Alex Lawson, filling in for Tom, and we'll be right back.